Mirchi FM is #1 in Singapore.
I love Mirchi FM, it's so hot.
They gave me la kai me high. Tangi tauwa me. Mirchi FM is hot.
Here at Rugby Town, Singapore, love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Mirchi FM is #1 in Suva.
It's hot.
Mirchi FM, bau julung.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Tonight, NFP candidate files court action against electoral decree. SODELPA finds difficulty in securing funding. And renovation underway to prepare for new parliament after September election. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and this is FBC News. National Federation Party candidate Makereta Wangavonovono has filed a constitutional redress against the chair of the Electoral Commission, the supervisor of elections and the Minister for Elections. Wangavonovono is seeking a ruling against Section 23, subsection 5 of the Electoral Decree, which states a person who's been away from Fiji for official government business is eligible to contest the election. Wangavonovono was away for 12 months, studying at the Australian National University. The decree states persons must be ordinarily residents in Fiji for at least 2 years immediately before being nominated. She argues this provision infringes on her political right to be a candidate for public office guaranteed by Section 23, subsection 3C of the Constitution. On Monday, the High Court will hear an application from the respondents that it doesn't have jurisdiction to hear the case. Restrictions on sources of funding for political parties spelt out in the electoral decree have had some effect on the Social Democratic Liberal Party. According to SODELPA spokesperson Sainiana Rondrondro, campaigning has been costly. Chanel Sivan reports.
Under the Electoral Decree 2014, the sources of funds for a political party shall only be from membership fees, voluntary contributions, donations, bequests and grants from a lawful source. Fundraising is prohibited. Less than 2 months for the 2014 general elections and the Social Democratic Liberal Party is feeling the impact of the restrictions.
The financial challenges that is facing the party, even the nominees themselves, are quite significant. However, we've had generous contributions as well from supporters of the party, not only here but abroad.
The party requested a $3,000 contribution from each of all their nominees, and the money is catering for their expenses.
In these difficult times, they've come across to donate to the party and help us stay afloat, conduct our campaigns. Though we cannot take a figure on how much exactly we are utilizing at this stage, it's quite significant given that we would like to spread out right across Fiji.
Rondrondro also revealed the SODELPA is extending an invitation to other parties besides the Fiji Labour Party to form a coalition if the party wins in the 2014 general elections. Meanwhile, a team from SODELPA is heading towards Kandavu tonight to begin campaign on the island. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
Work is progressing at the government buildings in Suva as the complex is being prepared for the new parliament and better court facilities. The renovation will cost the government about $3 million. Ellen Stolz reports.
The government building, erected during the colonial days, is a national landmark which has been in need of repairs.
And because it's an 80-year-old building, we have to try to keep in with the original architect's theme, and over the years, some of the repairs have not always kept in unison with the building. So now we want to get back to what it really was.
Right now, it houses the judiciary, from Magistrates Court right up to the Supreme Court of Fiji. Each courtroom will now have modern facilities.
But each court that is being renovated is having all the cameras installed and the equipment. Providing we can deliver on the IT and technological front, we are going that way. And the advantage is that everybody behaves better. The judge behaves better and counsel behaves better because they know they're subject to the accountability of the video recording. So it's good for everybody.
Work is underway to convert the Supreme Court into Parliament, while much of the judiciary will eventually move to the old Parliament complex in Viuto.
We, of course, will have an ongoing requirement for funds to convert Viuto to be the place for the new Supreme Court, Court of Appeal, and eventually Magistrates Court. At the moment, the magistrates are going into the wooden buildings. They're being transformed for that purpose because they're moving out from where Parliament requires Secretariat and members' space. But eventually, the Magistrates Court will go to Viuto.
These upgrades preserve a piece of Fiji's history and at the same time moves us forward to better the service delivery to the people and keeping pace with modern developments. Ellen Stalls, FBC News.
Veteran politician Krishna Dutt will not be contesting the September general election. Dutt said he believes there are enough young people who have the ability, capacity and the will to contribute to the political development of the country. He adds he is not retiring from politics, but believes he still has a lot to offer and is looking forward to working with the leaders of the future. Dutt is a founding member of the People's Democratic Party, and he is happy to see the party established as well as its manifesto launched. Toranganikoro's district advisory councillors, district officers and provincial administrators of Maduwata and Vanuatu took part in voter awareness training today. These people will be focal points of information in their communities. The training will provide them with details so they can become part of the Fiji-wide program to inform voters. Supervisor of Elections Mohammed Sanim will join the team in Savusavu tomorrow. Still to come on FBC News, laughing Samoans to wow Fijians once again.
Richie FM is #1 in Singapore.
I love Richie FM, it's so hot.
Deke me lala kai me hi. Tangi taupo me. Mirchi FM is hot.
Here at Rugby Town, Singatoka love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Richie FM is #1 in Suva.
It's hot.
Mirchi FM, bo julum.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. The Fiji Revenue and Customs Authority is investigating reports of forged tax documents that were presented to some financial institutions for personal gain. FERCA Chief Executive Chitoko Tikoilevu said there are also reports of taxpayers allegedly bribing their officers. He said that it is an offence and the reports are being investigated. Some businesses not registered for VAT are collecting VAT from customers and issuing false receipts. Tikoilevu said people caught engaging in unscrupulous behaviour will be dealt with accordingly. The New Zealand Seasonal Workers Scheme will be available to Fijians either after the elections or early next year. Labour Minister Chone Usumate has just returned from New Zealand, where he discussed possible employment opportunities for Fijians. Eleanor Tarangaivu reports.
New Zealand is offering the scheme to Fiji after a lapse of 27 years and as such invited the Labour Minister over for discussions. Chone Usumate met with New Zealand officials and potential employers.
Our workers in Fiji have a very good reputation in New Zealand. A lot of our people went there in the 60s and 70s and they created a very favorable impression. A lot of employees in Fiji that we talked to, at least the 3, they are really looking forward to people from Fiji.
Those intending to apply for the scheme should be registered with the National Employment Centre and become part of the Foreign Employment Service.
So it is the officials from our Foreign Employment Service that will liaise with the officers from the New Zealand government and also with the employers.
Usumate says the scheme will open up opportunities for Fijians in the agriculture and horticulture sector.
We intend to make sure that it is provided for people out in the rural areas so they can have access to income and improve their lives. There's also been notification that the same program is being made available also in Australia.
Come 2015, New Zealand hopes to employ close to 10,000 seasonal workers from Pacific Island countries, including Fiji. Eleanor Turangaivu, FBC News.
The National Fire Services Act of 1994 is being reviewed for the first time since it was implemented. Rashika Kumar spoke with National Fire Authority Chief John O'Connor.
The National Fire Authority wants to expand its core services from fighting fires to emergency responses of any kind. Chief Executive John O'Connor says Proposed changes to the Fire Services Act will be presented to the NFA board.
Changes will happen to the current act will be determined after we get the views from our stakeholders, and we plan to have a few public consultations, and also have meetings with key stakeholders.
Part of the review includes expanding services out of the main urban centres and building new fire stations.
Plans for fire stations in Kasi, Nambowalu, Rekiti, and these are the areas that has been developments taking place, industries and everything. So we need to take investments and build fire stations in this area, and also be able to provide services to those members of the community around the areas there.
Representatives from the NFA, Water Authority of Fiji, media organizations, the police and other organizations are attending the first review session in Suva. Once the exercise is complete, the National Fire Authority will work on improving its response time to fire and other emergencies. Right now, the response time on average is 9 minutes. Kashka Kumar, FBC News.
After an absence of 3 years, the famous comedy duo The Laughing Samoans will perform in Fiji next month. Shireen Lata reports.
We're inviting everyone to come and enjoy The Laughing Samoans. I don't think anybody doesn't like them. So it looks to be a good night of entertainment, or 2 nights of entertainment, and a good way to raising awareness about the work that WOW's Kids Fiji will be doing.
We've got a permit for the Nandi show. The reason why we're delaying the ticket sales is because we needed a permit from the Suva office, DO's office here in Suva. As soon as we get that, we should have the tickets out in the streets.
Laughing Samoans are great professionals, and you know, they I think capture the best of sort of, you know, Pacifica and Pacific humour. So I imagine they're going to knock everyone's socks off.
The Nandi Hospital and the Children's Ward at the CWM Hospital in Suva are also expected to benefit from the funds raised in the concerts. Shireen Lata, FBC News.
President Ratoepeli Nailatikau has been recognized by the World AIDS community for his work towards eliminating HIV and AIDS. Nailatikau was awarded a Lifetime Achievement Award as the United Nations AIDS Ambassador to Fiji and formerly to the Pacific. Shireen Lata reports.
The award was presented in Melbourne ahead of the 20th World AIDS Conference. Ratoepeli emphasized on the basic principles he uses and shared his experiences as an advocate of HIV and AIDS. He discussed the need for more leadership.
Development of effective leadership is critically important to strengthening social justice and transformation, and promoting human rights in all aspects of the HIV/AIDS response and advocacy.
Ratoepeli is pleased that parents are now taking HIV/AIDS seriously and are discussing it with their children.
I have never had any problems about discussing sex and sexuality and HIV and AIDS in a family, educational, or communal setting. My earlier work against sexually transmitted infections such as syphilis and gonorrhea was an automatic lead into my advocacy against HIV and AIDS.
Executive Director of UNAIDS, Michelle Sidibe, presented the award, saying the world is blessed to have a person of Ratoepeli's caliber who has dedicated his work, time and life towards the fight against the epidemic. Ratoepeli is the 3rd recipient of the award this year. There are more than 500 cases of HIV and AIDS in Fiji. Shireen Lata, FBC News.
Great story then. With that now, it's sports. Jamie, what do you have for us?
Good evening. In sports tonight, Fijian Roy Krishna prepares to feature against EPL side West Ham United in New Zealand tomorrow, and a possible Rugby League Tri-Nations competition for Fiji, Tonga and Samoa. Details after the break.
Gold FM is #1 here in Sigatoka.
Gold FM is our favorite radio station here in Lautoka.
Gold FM is #1 in Nel.
I love listening to Gold FM in Ba.
We love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits here in Suva.
Hear about Coca-Cola, you immediately think of gold. I'm Josephine Sabi and I love hearing Gold FM.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Welcome back to FBC Sports. The Fiji Sevens team will not be affected by the new passports regulations for the 2014-2015 IRB World Series. However, Fijian players featuring for other nations could miss out playing in the new season if they don't adhere to the new rules. The latest IRB regulations state that to play for a nation, players need to carry passports of that country. Players like Virimi Vakatawa, who plays for France, along with Japan's Lotte Tungiri, are just two who fall in this category and may have to apply for passports of their adopted nations.
Anybody that played last year that's on residency grounds, so, you know, there's a number of Fijians playing for teams like France and Japan, America and Scotland, quite a few littered around really. None of those are eligible to play this year unless they have a passport. Obviously, all our Fijian players, homegrown, 100% of them have passports, so we don't have that issue. But some of the other countries will be quickly either trying to accelerate passports or those guys will miss out.
A tri-series tournament between Fiji, Samoa and Tonga could eventuate if things go according to plan. The Fiji National Rugby League is in talks with its Samoan counterparts to establish a competition between the three island nations as a build-up to the 2017 World Cup. Talenda Dakadaka has more.
A recent work trip to Samoa bore fruit for Fiji National Rugby League chairman Emmanuel Rubin, where he was able to discuss with his Samoan counterpart the possibility of a tri-series competition together with Tonga.
I met up with our friends from Samoa to Samoa, their president, and I mooted the idea that how we can help each other. Since we are from the Pacific and we normally go to quarterfinals and semifinals. And one of the things I suggested to him, and he's agreed, and we want to rope in Tonga too so that we would have a three-nation.
The competition will not feature overseas-based players. The idea is to give local players from the three countries as much game time as possible.
And helping each other to develop and to rise to a different standard and different strength. So as I said, it's just talk now. And once the three presidents agree, then we'll take it to our boards. Even if Tonga doesn't come in, Samoa is pretty ready. So I'll put to my board next week. And if we agree to that, we'll start the ball rolling. And we'll see when is the best time.
Preparation for Cricket Fiji's upcoming tour of India is well underway. National coach Shane Ergenson is also very pleased to have seen his players in action against the visiting Korean team before he names his squad for the tour. Josephine Navula has the details.
Building up towards the next international outing, head coach Shane Ergenson says the outings against Korea has given him a good opportunity to select the right players.
This was a great opportunity for me with the selections of the squad coming up any day to see the players in action against another international team, which is, you can't, that's just perfect for us in our selections and refining the squad.
Ergenson says the performance of the cricketers has picked up compared to the past.
Looking at past cricket scores and talking to the coaching staff here, the top order has sort of been an area of inconsistency, and to see a lot of runs scored in the top 3 and 4 in our games is a really good sign.
The coach also says they are also arranging for a 3-day game in India to give the players a better exposure.
A 3-day red ball game and a great opportunity to experience playing long version cricket, having to bat for 6 hours for a full day and a new experience for them.
The management is expected to announce the squad for the India tour in the next 48 hours. Josephine Nobula, FBC Sports.
Paradise Beverages has come on board as official beer and spirit supplier of the PGA Fiji International Championship. The agreement was signed today in Suva, and organizers also took the opportunity to announce ticket prices for the tournament. For the first 2 days of the championship, tickets will be $5, and for the remaining days it will cost $10. Around 120 professional golfers are expected for the tournament.
Absolutely. We've got former world number 1 Nick Price has confirmed that he'll be here. He's a Zimbabwean, so that adds to the international flavour of the tournament. We've also got Asia's leading player, India's number 1 player, Anaban Lahiri, has confirmed. So the week prior to that, both Anaban and BJ will be at the US PGA Championship competing.
The Fiji International will be played from August 14th till the 17th. That's it from Sports Tonight. Good evening.
Digicel Fiji has announced a $70 million investment to upgrade its network all over Fiji. Chief Executive Darren McLean says the investment will deliver Fiji's largest 4G network and expand the existing network to nationwide 3G plus coverage. In the next few weeks, Digicel will provide customers with fast mobile internet and enable new data services for businesses. Lautoka has already been moved onto the 3G plus network, and other parts of Fiji will come online progressively.
This is happening right now today and has been running for a number of months. This delivers a massive benefit for all of our customers, but particularly those in some of the more rural locations and islands where this will bring internet access to some of the most remote parts of Fiji. Not just internet access, high-speed internet access.
Key population areas will receive wireless internet speeds of around 20 megabytes per second. Weather time with Trish.
Thank you, Jackie. Looking at today's map, Suva had occasional showers all day long. Nadi, Lautoka and Ba had cloudy skies with scattered showers also throughout the day. Lambasa and Sava saw cloudy skies in the morning, but later in the afternoon, scattered showers. Temperatures today, Suva, Nadi, Lautoka were all on 27, Ba 28, Lambasa 32 and Savu 27. Another cool night from Ba, Lautoka, Nadi, as for Suva 16 and all the rest 17. Wednesday's forecast, all 6 major centers, Suva, Nadi, Lautoka, Ba, Lambasa and Savu will have cloudy skies with scattered showers all day long. For mariners, 10 to 15 knots and moderate to fresh southerly winds. Image of the day sent in by Ashleen Prasad, a nice shot of the beach on a gloomy and wet day.
Thanks so much for that, Trish. Our top stories once again. NMP candidate files court action against electoral decree. Sodelpa finds difficulty in securing funding, and renovation underway to prepare for new parliament after September election. Now on to our Fijian Speak segment. This is what some Fijians had to say today.
Play the normal parts to recognize all the people living in this country.
Fiji should be secular state.
Religion shouldn't be used in politics.
It's about the kingdom concept, so it has to bring up a kingdom person. You don't have to bring in a religious, person in order to come and intervene or interfere in, to be in the affair of politics.
You can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. And to receive the latest headlines on your mobile phone, take subspace FBC to 777. That's all from us tonight. We leave you tonight with pictures of Fijian troops leaving the UNDOF base in Syria bound for Fiji. Some who depart later are bidding farewell to those who are currently on a flight to Nadi. Truly heartwarming.
I love Mirchi FM, it's so hot.
Kai me hi. Tangi tau for me. Mirchi FM is hot.
Here at Rugby Town, Singatoka, love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Mirchi FM is #1 in Suva.
It's hot.
Mirchi FM, bon julum julum.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.